camp for a couple of days now. How are things shaping up ahead of the first match on Saturday?
Look, it's not been easy. We know the league hasn't been in full swing. So we worked on a few things that we felt, not just for now, but for WAFCON as well, because we can't work when we start there. So there's a few things that we've worked on, but otherwise the energy has been really good. It's been good to be back in camp and get ready for the next stage of our preparation for WAFCON.
As I've seen, it seems like you, or maybe let me ask, do you have all players already in camp?
No, we don't. No, we don't. Unfortunately, the weather in the USA has delayed some of our players. Jermaine arrived last night. We still have Hilda, Amu, and Shakira still in the US. They flew last night due to weather delays. It's unfortunate. They were supposed to arrive already, but there's nothing we can do with that with the weather. So they'll only arrive tomorrow night.
And there's been a withdrawal already confirmed.
Yes, Mavis Mayakane is withdrawn due to illness, and we called up Tanner from JVW, who was also in the Lesotho camp, like for like, a striker, to replace her.
Coach, you've called up a team that is full of experience, but there's also some young players on this team, like me, for example. What are you hoping to see from these young players and also integrating them into the main team?
Look, we had the camp against Lesotho, and we wanted to have a look at players to make the core group bigger. So we wanted to make sure that some of the players that did really well against Lesotho, that we bring them in with a more senior group and see how they can raise their levels, how they can integrate with a more senior group. Because we're also looking at making the group bigger. As I said, we had injuries in November last year and the year before, and the reason why we were doing that was because of the camp, to make sure that we don't get ourselves into that position again, where we're struggling and looking around for players in certain positions because we haven't covered all our bases. And as I said, it's an opportunity for them to raise their hands for WAFCON because the final squad has not been selected yet.
Coach, the experienced players would sort of, for you, not be a mind-blowing thing in terms of selection for WAFCON. But in relation to the previous camp that you had with the younger players, are you sort of getting an idea of what sort of the full team will look like? Like I said, with these experienced players, you already have an idea in terms of who you probably pick. But are you also just getting a sense of what type of how the team is going to shape up like?
Look, form also plays a huge part. It doesn't matter where you play. If you're not playing regularly, it becomes a challenge. And form also plays a huge part, and we're always looking at mixing, the blend of youth and experience, because it's really important. The youth bring the energy, they bring something different because they haven't played against the likes of the team, so they can't think back to things that they've done wrong, so they bring that. We're looking at having something similar, but we're also looking at a lot more versatility. When you go to a tournament and you don't have that, and you have a couple of injuries or you have players not being well, then there's a problem because you haven't covered all your bases. So a lot of versatility will be really, really important because we want to cover all our bases. I think we prepared really well in that essence for 2022, but this one's a different one because the game evolves, everything evolves, and with everyone stepping up, we got to have some other plans in place to make sure that. I just want to rectify one thing. The players are arriving tonight, they left Wednesday night, so they'll arrive tonight, not tomorrow.
Coach, I know you touched on it when you announced the squad. Just a little bit more about the significance of Bobby if she gets a chance. And then,
she will get a chance, not if. I think we learned our lesson in the last qualifiers when we brought Janine in, because first of all you have to win the game, first of all you have to get a result, and with all the pressure going around that, we missed that chance to play her. And we had conversations with Mpumi last year already, and unfortunately we didn't play at home for most of the end. Before that it was qualifiers, and you want to give a farewell at home more than anything. So conversations was had, and we've already decided that when we get the opportunity, we could have brought her in the earlier camp, but she played with most of these players, so it's a perfect way to bring her in, to give her that farewell, and to give her that 150th cap. So she definitely will play during one of these two games.
And what has she meant to this team?
Mpumi came in as a 15-year-old, and when I saw her play the first time, I was sort of stepping out and she was stepping in. She was the revelation. very gifted, very skillful, and she's been part of a lot of the success of the national team, and the experience that she brings, that she brought to the younger players that came in, was second to none. So we cannot thank her enough, and I think we learn from other countries as well to say thank you to players when they've given good service, because many a times countries don't do that, and we feel that it's a must to say thank you. It's a must to give them a proper farewell. It's a must to give them a proper send-off, because to say thank you for what they've done for the country and what they've added, not just to the team, but to other individuals who've obviously tapped into the experience, and seeing always, doesn't matter where she plays, with that smile on the face. I think that is what people should remember about her.
Coach, send off from Pony and why is it important to do it at home, especially?
I think it's important at home because you're playing in front of your home crowd, for the crowd also to say thank you to the players, because away from home it doesn't mean anything. You don't have your home support. I mean, maybe their families want to come down to be able to see that send-off and be part of the send-off. And if you have it at home, obviously you don't get that experience. It's just like another game. So it's important. We also saw last year when we played the USA, they did similarly with two of their players at home. The stadium was packed out, and what a wonderful send-off for them. So we want to do similar things.
Coach, just in terms of the impact, when you look at someone like Loco, there are a lot of players that you can count to and also you look at some of the players she's playing with, as kids that are inspired, the likes of and just the impact she's had.
I don't think people realize how huge the impact is, because she started out as a striker and was very good, and then Coach Vera came into the country, and to be honest, she would have struggled to make the team at the time because of the players that was playing in that position. And she saw something else in Noko, and played Noko as a defender, and everybody was carrying on, why? And I said to people, ask Noko where she wants to play. And she said she wants to play there. She got a contract aboard playing as a defender, and I think she went from a goal-scoring striker to a top defender. And I think she's evolved in that, and we cannot thank her enough. I mean, the first player to win a CAF Player of the Year. She's been to Olympics, she's been to the World Cup, she's won a WAFCON medal. Noko's done everything. And it's another one who's given fantastic service, who, if she didn't play, she was still that model professional. If she got taken off, she still gave that respect. So it doesn't matter whether Noko sat on the bench, when the Noko played, she was a true professional. And I think we cannot thank her enough for the service that she's done. And like I always said, people actually don't know, but Noko and I had a conversation in 2019 when Noko wanted to retire for different reasons. And I said, Noko, come to me when you're ready to retire. Because if you look at 2019 and you look at now, it's 5 years. It's 5 years since the last game she played. So, so we have to give her flowers, and we have to make sure that we do that send-off. And send-off at home is, I think it's so important. Families are coming, friends are coming, the crowd is there, and it would be proper to get a send-off like that than to have it away from home. Otherwise, we could have just had it last year and had it out of the way. But it's special to have it at home. We want to give not just her, but Mpumi also that respect to have it at home, where they have their home, their friends, their families there to see that occasion.
Coach, on the Malawian side, I think Temo and Tabita showing assist is very influential. Based in the US, Florence, I think. Rose as well is not being, she's also based in Australia. Without those influential players on the opposite end, do you feel like Malawi can still give you that challenge that you are hoping to get?
Look, we are not in control of who the opponents select as part of their team. We still prepare the way we prepare. Malawi has shown at COSAFA, and they've grown really well at COSAFA. They've shown they're a force to be reckoned with. They've shown their physicality. They've shown how they've evolved. We looked at them against Zambia. Even in the second game, Tema was not there. So, they can play without their big players, and we're going to take nothing for granted. We know what they're going to bring, and we have prepared accordingly, but also prepared for WAFCON, because WAFCON doesn't start when WAFCON starts. I remember when we knew we drew Sweden. All our games leading up to that was preparation for that game. We couldn't wait until the time, so we have to just play what's in front of us. And sometimes teams have to play against us for what's in front of us. They don't say if we don't have the more senior players there that it's not Banyana, it's still Banyana. So we're still taking the game, really serious in terms of preparation, whether those players are not there. But they bring a different dynamic to the team, of course. They raise the levels of the team and they add so much to the team when Malawi has the Chobinga sisters and Rose and everyone else that might not be there.